Hello everyone, hello Petko, hello Samuel. This is part number 3 of our tutorial for the Express Generator. And we'll repeat some of the stuff from the previous tutorial, previous parts, and we'll continue. Now I'm doing this recording from my development machine, and it is at Windows 10. In the previous tutorial, we used Windows 11, and they make it a little bit easier. So if you remember, to open, let's start from the beginning. You open my computer, go to Windows C and Express Generator, where I put my Express Generator installation. But of course, you can put it whenever you want. And in Windows 11, we right click and choose Open in Terminal or something like that. But this is not possible in Windows 10. So in Windows 10, we go to here to File and Open PowerShell. You can click directly here or Open PowerShell, it is the same. Most probably the PowerShell will look like that with a blue background, but it's possible to be a little bit different. I don't remember if these are the default settings or not. But the problem is that it doesn't use a UTF-8 font by default. So if I run the generator, node bin gen, okay, and with Control T, I'll write it here. Control plus T. This shows top strategies. This shortcut. So if I press Control T, it shows the top one because it is the top one by default. But do you see this? The chart doesn't look correct because these squares, these rectangular boxes, they replace the UTF lines, UTF characters. So in order to make it looking better, click here with the mouse on the with the left button here on the icon PowerShell and go to Properties. Then go to Font and choose. I think by default is Usida Console, but if you choose the font Consolas, it looks better. So this is the correct chart. And also I prefer to make a black background. So you change the font to Consoles and we go to Colors, Screen Background, and I usually use the black one, like that. Also, it also looks a little bit different because this yellow stuff, they must be in both text. But Windows 10, it looks like they make it yellow, but it doesn't matter. It's possible to see what we want. So this was what I wanted to tell you for the configuration. I will stop this. I will stop it with Control C. Control plus C. Save correction and exit. And just to remember, we have Control plus S, which saves the current correction but continues generating. Save correction during working. So we can make intermediate save, right?
I had a feature request on this point, pop up, if I can just interrupt. I'm not sure if it's possible, but so if you imagine what you're going to show today, no doubt, is what I'm already doing, where you say set up in your batch file or command file it to run the generator in sample, for example, and then automatically go on to validate out of sample, right? So say I have two commands, so it goes collect, asks it to collect, say, 1,000 strategies, and then when you've got 1,000 strategies, I want you to move on and automatically validate them on some out of sample data, right?
Yes.
But would it be possible to be able to, let's say I'm waiting for 1,000 strategies and it's taken a long time, it's got 500, and I can see that it's going to be another day or two before I get 1,000. Is it possible to have a command that just says save the collection and move on to the next step? if you know what I mean, like just
yes, of course.
rather than having to like save and close and then kind of manually go and run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes, I understand that. Normally we do that with a script. So we make in a previous lection we did and okay, let's open a new file. So we did command files, and we can make it this not bin gen, and here to set let's say auto sample. But okay, let's start from the beginning. No, not beginning, but also I wanted to show you something other. The settings file are in Express Generator bin. And by default, the ini files are open with a notepad. If I double click on gen settings ini, it opens in notepad. But with notepad++, it's easier to do it, and it has syntax highlighting. So to make it opening in notepad++, right click and go to open with, and then choose another app. And then I cannot move in the screen, but choose notepad++, always use a click OK. And then every time when you click it, it will open in notepad++. So for the user that are new with working with the console, it can be useful. And now let's open, let's make a command file cfs Express Generator. Let's be gen os.ini up cmd like that. Symbol euro USD. Let's use this caret symbol to move on new line like that. Period M30, for example. Max bars, max data bars, 20,000. Okay, and let's try to simulate auto sample. Also, let's make it correction. So Samuel, what do you prefer? When you generate 100 or 300 strategies to continue to the next step, or to have a correction capacity of 300 and generate for 3 minutes and then continue to the next step? We can do both.
So hold on, sorry. So yeah, so well, what I typically do is I tell it, I don't give it a set amount of time. I kind of say I want a collection of 1,000, right, or 500 or something like that. So I ask it for a collection of 500. But what often happens is when it comes time for me to harvest them, I look in the console and I see that it's only maybe got 200.
Okay.
And my script's automatically set up to then, once it's got 500, move on to the next step in the script, which is to validate it, right?
Yeah, okay.
And it would be good to be able to say, well, that's enough, to override say, don't wait till I've got 500. If I could just hit in the console and say, just go now straight to the validation with what you've got.
Okay,
probably using time is a better way to do it now that you say that, but that's just what I do. I tend to not use time. I tend to say, get me a collection size.
Yeah, so in that way, let's make it this. Okay, collection capacity. It doesn't make capacity 300. We will not put a strict acceptance criteria, and max ascended. I think there was an option max corrected. Max calculate. Okay, max ascended. 300. So what means the generator will generate 300s and we push to the correction, and correction will receive maximum 300. But what will happen in practice, because of the correlation analysis, some of these 300 may correlate, so we will have a less in the correction.
Yeah.
But it actually doesn't matter how many strategies you have. Max send it. It's also, it doesn't matter if these are dashes or underscore. Now, okay, this is enough. No, but we want to make it out a sample. So we will use the options from data horizon. Use data start. I will not touch this. I will use both data start and data end. I'll copy from here and put here. Okay, if you use only data end and limit by end date and maximum bars, it will mean that if you use only end date, it will want 20,000 from this date. And when I remove the end date limitation, this will move this window 20,000 bars forward. So it will be not out of sample, but will be something like walk forward. This because it will. So I use start date and end date. I'm not pretty sure it will work in the in command now, because generally I use a settings file, and this is I wanted to show, but let's try it like that.
Yeah, I use this in the settings file.
Yeah, in the settings file it works. Let's put yes here. No, it must be true.
True. Yeah.
Here true. Here we put correct to move to the next line. Here in the last line it doesn't matter, but let's have it. And what dates to put? So if I only run the generator without limitations on symbol Euro USD period M30 max data bars. I'm doing that only to see the dates. Max data bars 20,000. Okay. It is from March 2001 to today. The data. So we have to fetch also the new data. Let's fetch the data. I'm returning back to the previous command, and instead of get, Gen, I will use fetch. And this makes it also convenience, because before in the first versions, we needed to specify the complete path to the data files, and now we can use symbol and period. So 20,000 bars. Let's run it, the generator again, to see the data range. Let's limit the data from. I'll copy from here. From March. Okay, and I have to put here time zone also, UTC or GMT, because in the other case it use the local, the time zone of local machine. UTC. So let's be from 1st of March 2021, and B, let's use the 1 year, okay, like that. Just let's test it if it works or not.
Yeah, you might need apostrophes, but yeah, we'll see.
Where?
Around the two to cover the space between the date and the UTC. Maybe I'm just guessing. Often the command
I think all
like spaces, but okay.
We will see. So I saved this file CFS, or I already saved it. Generator okay, and let's run it to see. No, the dates doesn't work here. I noticed
Try
that
apostrophes. Try apostrophes pop up out of interest, because often the command. So if you put one in front, in front of the two and one after the C, maybe double apostrophes, but I don't think it matters. But yeah, that's what I mean.
Probably double, double.
Yeah, I think double. Typically with the console, and try that.
Okay, yeah, you are correct.
That's worked, yeah, because it doesn't like
So
spaces. Yeah.
now what we'll do, it will generate 300 and we'll stop, right? Because we put max ascended 300. Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, we might
300
not
will
get.
close. Okay, it closed. And it oh, I have too many collections. Just I'll delete these collections. And also here, this is something that I haven't showed in the tutorial in the previous. Actually, doing that, I don't need maximum data bars, right? Because we specified start date, data started, data end. But here I use the output parameter. So output parameter, with output, I specify where to save the output collection. And I use, why? Because after generating this, I want to recalculate the same collection without with the newest data to simulate out a sample. That's why I specify here the collection, and then I will recalculate the same collection. So I use collection OS test.json. The collection must be with extension JSON file. JSON. Okay, and then I will copy this thing, the same, and I will paste it here. But this time, this instead of output, I'll make it input. It doesn't matter, I will put it. Input. So what is the difference? When I have input parameter and pass to the to a collection, the generator, the program will load this collection and revalidate the strategy. It will not generate new strategies like here in the first example. So and that's why we use bin gen as a validator. And the output will be output test. Let's first, let's make it test OS. This to be test OS, and the output would be test full data. Okay, something like that.
Yeah.
And now I'll remove this data, and so it will load the newest data, right, from the same starting. Yeah. And in that case, what will happen? It will generate 300 strategies. Then we will save the collection to the file test OS. Then we'll load test OS. I don't need this anymore. Oh no, collection capacity I need, but mass ascended I don't need.
Yeah. Unless your collection capacity is set in the default file, right? Which it probably is.
Collection, I don't know how many. Even how many we pass, but 100 is okay. Even if I remove by default, it's 100.
Yeah.
And let's remove here. There is one possible issue that the problem is that in the way I wrote it here, it will output to test OS JSON. But what will happen if we already have this file? It will save another file with a suffix 1, right? So to prevent this issue, I have to be sure here in the collection I don't have this. So that's why I wanted to introduce something like a session or process ID, and here to have something like a unique ID to be sure that this name is unique, something like that. But we will do that in the next versions of the program. So to be sure that if it says one file, it is unique. It is a unique file. Let's see. Let's generate 300 strategies without any acceptance criteria and see how much of this, how many of these will pass. All right. So let's run it. General OS. Okay, it works. We see. When it reaches 300, it will save the first file. Then it will, so it crashed. Why? The problem is, this is when you use commands.
Maybe put a pause in and we'll see what it says. If you just put a pause at the end and run it again,
Yeah,
it'll
here
tell
it
us.
must be something to. No, but is it saved the correction? No, it doesn't.
I didn't save it.
Because here the path is corrections, right? Yeah, this is also this is something also that I want to do to check the folder, or even to create the path to the file. Even I want to make
yeah, make a folder. If it made a folder, even, you mean?
yeah, even I want to make a path dynamic, something like that. It let's say it doesn't work in that release, but this is these are my plans to make it like that. Server, okay. Symbol, so it will make subfolders.
Yes, yeah.
It will make the
yeah,
path.
that'd be great. That'd be great.
So I will do that for sure. It will be very helpful.
Yeah.
And if the path doesn't exist, it will create the necessary folders, the folder
No,
structure.
that's good.
Let's run it again. I press Ctrl T to see. It's already has one good strategy. Now, okay, it saved it. How many it saved? It already finished. Okay.
Yeah.
And why it generated this? The
Test.
output.
We should have just had a test full data. Yeah.
But it must be for test full data. Because do you say I forgot here this caret, and it takes this like
its
a
default.
separate
Yeah,
command.
it's done its default. Yeah.
So that's why I prefer to use a settings file, right? Not this. This commands only to load the corresponding settings file and to set some. Yeah, but anyway, how many it generated? It generated 100 paths from 300. Let's try again. Let's try it again. It's very interesting. And let's do it the following thing. Let's fetch data in Forex Strategy Builder. Let's be Euro USD. Euro USD download. And I will fetch the same data here also. Fetch Euro USD. Okay. And in order to make a correction for Forex Strategy Builder, I have two additional options that have to set. This is, let's see,
I think you just down a bit. You just missed it. Down a bit. Pop off.
Yeah.
There. You open true, right?
What is that? For strategy builder, opens position and bar opening, and close and bar closing. But AirStudio closes at bar opening also. So in order to make it compatible with FSB, I have to set exit rate at close, and also close at backtest end. I have to set it to false because for strategy builder doesn't close the last position as AirStudio by default. So let's set this also here. Okay. I don't need this here because I continue with the new command. All right. And I'll copy this here also. Let's
missing a caret there. Yeah.
I think now it's okay.
Oh, you miss a caret at the top one as well. The output on the previous one. Above. Yeah, there you go.
I'll move this. Let's output. The output will be the last one. The last parameter, okay, like that. Input, output. I think now it's okay. So we fetch, we download the data in FSB, we fetch data in the generator, we have these 3 commands, the correction is empty, so let's run it. Okay. I see something strange. When I double click on the CMD file, it looks like it opens different, it's not PowerShell, because the PowerShell looks in different way. Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Yeah, this is the first one. This is the second one. I don't know how many strategy it have, but it doesn't matter. I will import this in for strategy builder. How to do? I go to repository and take the file. Okay, how many we have? So actually,
it's only showing the top 20, is it? But
yeah,
you've got 100.
But 100, is it possible?
I don't know. It seems
very
a
big
bit
percent.
too.
Let's make it.
Yeah, it seems a bit too good to be true.
So yeah, let's see how many passed. So
if are you able to just run it again quickly, but put a pause at the end, Popov? If
I
you
don't
put
know
a pause
how
at the end, just in the settings file, just at the end of that settings file on line 26, just type pause, PAUSE, and then just run it.
and
it won't. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, if you just hit save and run that, it won't close. No, not that one. If you leave the pause out there. And if you run that now, when it won't close the window, so we'll see what happens. If you save that and run it, you'll see what I mean.
So, but let's set correction capacity 300 to see actually how many we passed, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm very curious. It looks too good. We generate 300, and we added 7 mods for months, and 100 passed.
I see a mistake. You've got the data start from 2021 rather than 2022, so it's not out of sample. For the out of sample, your data start should be 2022, I believe. For the second command, it should be 2022, should it not? Because it's out of sample.
I mean you mean to test only the auto sample part?
Well, I thought that's what you were doing. You were validating. Yes, yeah, that's what I thought you were. Yeah, okay, yeah. So you're testing it, including out of sample, not just out of sample.
But this is also interesting. Let's make it also. Let's add another. So this is what we do. Okay, we generate, let's say, in sample part. Let's make it like that. But how it works? Okay, this is the in sample part. In sample, it must be in sample, right? Then we load this, and we'll calculate the full data set, and we also calculate the auto sample part.
Yeah.
Right, to see what is going on. So Petko, if you were not here, we first generate strategies from March to March for 1 year, then calculate only the auto sample part from 2002 up to now. But data start, okay, and then this will be OS part, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up with everything you do. Just muted the microphone because it's a little bit noisy around me, but I'm following you guys.
Okay. Yep. So this is the auto sample part, and then here we have full data.
Full sample,
yeah. I made the creation capacity 300 because initially we generate 300, and I put also the count to be in the collection name. Okay, but actually, what we are doing, this will be the first 300 that generated. So it more realistically will be if you leave it to work several minutes and to have the top 300. But let's try like that. I already did this. Okay. So now we have three commands. First we generate 300 strategies and put in test in sample file. Then we revalidate them in. Okay. So now we need. Oops, not in bin, in collection. Yeah. So what happened? What happened?
Just changed your view somehow. Yeah, changed the view. There we go.
Okay, so we generated here in sample we have 300.
300, yeah.
And from them 90. This is very big percent. This is almost.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Is it possible? This is too good. Okay, let's load this in the FSB and see. Unload this, and we can use this button here also instead of drag and drop. Go to disk C, Express Generator, Corrections, Auto Sample. Yeah, it is. You see, it is from. Oh.
Yeah. The date's right. It's a pretty good. That's a pretty good strategy.
This is very good. Yeah, this is completely auto sample data, right?
Yeah. It's perfect, isn't it?
But
you should be sending us this strategy after that. So ready to use one.
Yeah. When I click here, I see the full data calculations because it FSB words. I fetch the new data. Let's double click. It was the full data set, 20,000 bars, all right, from 2001 up to now. So this is for the traders that asks if it's possible to generate strategies that make profit. Yeah, you see, this is the first one that we generated. All right. So what to do more? Let's make up to now I haven't shown how to write custom settings files. I use only custom commands, but with settings files is the workflow is a little bit different. Okay, so Express Generator comes with default settings in the bin folder. For the fetch, the default settings is fetch.settingsini, and for the generator, it's a gen.settingsini. But you can make own settings files. Let's delete all from here. Output, okay. We can make our own ini file. Let's be OS ini. Right? We can choose any name, and we can tell the generator to load a particular settings file. So if I run the generator from here, not bin gen, I can write settings 2 dashes, and the file is os.ini. So in that way, cannot read setting file OS.ini, right?
It's OSS. Yeah, OSS.
Rename OS. Also, you see that these error messages that they're useful.
Yeah.
Okay. it works. But now our settings file is empty. What we can do, we can copy the complete default settings file with Control A, Control C, and paste it here, and to override the settings we want. So, but the other option is to only to copy the settings we want to change. All right. The problem, we can also modify the default settings file, but if you update the program, it will override everything in the bin folder. So it will override our settings. So let's make it the same. I will delete this. I will not want everything. I will make settings file with what we had here. But actually, we didn't have too much things, right? Actually, for here it doesn't matter. We did the same, but usually for settings files are good for making custom acceptance criteria. So let's go to the acceptance criteria. Okay, and make some what to use. Maximum drawdown percentage, make it 30. Max equity drawdown, it is the same. Max equity drawdown is in dollars, right? Here, this value equity drawdown is in currency, in the same as in ES Studio. I must put dollar amount here, not percent. Minimum count of trades, minimum profit is let's make it 100. Profit factor, how much you use?
I use 1.2 generally, 1.2.
Okay. Profit per day, return to drawdown, R squared, let's make it 80%. Win-loss ratio, okay, I will leave it default. Max stagnation percentage, make it 20. 20 is difficult to reach, but let's make it 25.
Yeah, I think R squared 80 is well quite difficult with most of the
Yeah,
market.
I usually have about 70 for that. Yeah.
I think we'll find something. And consecutive process, I like 6. Okay, so here I set only the auto sample, only acceptance criteria. We can make a comment. Okay, this is acceptance criteria. Okay, and we can put some other stuff here. Let's use trading sessions. I haven't showed this. Okay, the trading sessions are also new from the latest releases. Make it somewhat pretty. Here the parameters are different than ES Studio, but works in the same way. In ES Studio, we have to specify. Let's show it. Yeah, Sunday open, Sunday close, Monday to Thursday open and close, Friday open, close. But actually, if you have a session open, it is the same from Friday. I don't need to specify unique opening hour for Friday or for Sunday. I don't need. Also, closing and Sunday. So let's have trading session. Let's open in 8 o'clock and close at 18. Okay. And for Friday, let's close in also 18. But okay, this is only if I want. I can put 18 also for Friday, but it is the same as the normal session. So even I don't put it, it use this hour. So it is Friday closing. Friday closing useful if I want separate closing hour only for Friday. If here I have 20 and 18 for 18:00 for Friday. Trade on Sunday I don't like. False. Close session close. False. I don't want to close. Close at Friday. Let's make it true just for a test. Okay. So I have my settings file. I name it OS, so I have to put some dates. Let's use this. Okay, from here. Here in the settings file, I don't need to put 2 dashes, but I need equal sign. This is the only difference between commands and settings files. So in the settings files, I need a command, a parameter, equal, and the value, and without these carets. Also, this double quotes also. Okay. Let's see if we generate something or not. Open PowerShell from here. Not been gen. Settings os.ini. And
Missed
here
the S, I think. It
this.
needs to be settings, doesn't it? Not setting. Is it settings?
Yeah,
Setting?
it must be, but because I found I make this mistake frequently.
Yeah, I remember you saying in the last. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, it can be both.
This is the correct thing. And I have to specify the market because here in this file, I don't have a market. So let's make it symbol EURUSD 30. Also, I can use max bars. No, I'll put max. The full is max data bars, but max bars also works.
Right.
So, Petko, this can be new for you. And do you see what we are doing? We have default settings file in here in bin, this gen settings in it. Every time when you use the generator, it was this file and uses the default settings. But then we have our custom settings file with some of the options, and our custom settings file, these options, they override the default options.
All right, so whenever you update it or make a new release, the custom will not be overwritten.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also, I can put parameters. So even if I have here some parameters, let's say symbol Great Britain pound USD, the commands here, the command parameter has a higher precedence. So this commands override the settings file, my settings file, and my settings file overrides the standard or default settings file. So in that way, if you have a parameter that we frequently use, it's more common to more easier to make a custom settings file, and then to use every time when you generate something. And we can use this settings file with the different markets or different additional parameters. Let's run it, and it works. So it works here, and I can open another instance, PowerShell, and with upper row, I can put it with a different market, but I give it on pound USD. But it will not be possible to load because we didn't fetch here, I think. Oh, we have that. So do you see? I have settings file, and I use the same setting file but with different parameters. So I generate. Yeah, that's it. The most common parameters I use are in my settings file, and I specify exactly what I want to generate with command line parameters. And then it's here for your USD, it already generated 5. Let's see with Control T. Yeah, this looks pretty well. R squared 80. Return to drawdown 3.4. Profit factor 1.7, right? Good. Let's see here, Control T. Profit factor 1.78. R squared 87. Very good. Okay, so what? Let's show you something more. Some of you know it, but I haven't showed this in the tutorial. I will not continue generating. I'll close this with Control C, and here with Control C. Let's make several corrections. I'll delete this. And let's make several corrections with the default settings, because I'll make here a folder, new folder. Let's make it today. Now is November. Okay. I'll make some November strategies. Let's open the PowerShell again, and I use default settings. Not bin gen, symbol Euro USD, period M30, max data bars 20,000. And I will specify the output to be in this November folder. So the output would be output collections, right? November. Is it correct? In November. Okay, so it started generating with the default settings, and I will have I will run some other instances. No, I have to. It is not in that history.
That's adding them very fast now, Pop-Up. Before it was taking a while to get to 5. How come it's going so fast now?
This?
Well, I remember just 2 minutes ago we were doing something at 2
minutes. I don't use the custom ini file.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. Now I see.
Because I want more corrections to show you the validation.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And now I want to generate. Yeah, I will generate more, and then we use this custom settings file to revalidate the corrections. So I started 3 instances now. Here they are. They are working. And we have here 100, here 100, and here 100. I will stop this, and each of these will save its. But it crashed. Why? Because it cannot find something. I have to fix that. You see, I specified the folder. It will not work. I specified the folder, but I did not specify the file name. Right. This is so when we input output. This is the folder, and the collection will be collection.json. Okay, let's start several of these. A parallel start. Let's have three different collections, each of 300 strategies, each of 100. So this is ready. Let's stop it. Okay, it is exported. The first one is collection. The other will have a suffix. So I'll close this. I'll stop this one. Control C. Okay, this is collection 1. Why this is stopped?
Press a button on the keyboard. It sometimes pauses if you.
Yeah. It's about it. Okay, Control C. Now, when I go to folder, November, I have 3 collections. I may have many, but now I have a tree. Imagine we generated these correlations with some acceptance criteria, and let's revalidate these correlations with the settings we have in our ini file. But it is not too suitable because it is for auto sample. Let's copy this acceptance criteria and make additional file. Express get my acceptance criteria dot ini. So in the settings file, I have only acceptance criteria. Let's close this. And yeah, this is my acceptance criteria. So let's revalidate these corrections that we generated with the default acceptance criteria with our. Let's see how it works. So not bin gen settings my acceptance criteria dot ini. Okay, and I put input. So when I put input and I point a particular correction or folder, instead of generating new strategies, it will validate this. So I will copy this. I'll copy the path and we'll paste here. Let's see why it doesn't work. No such file directory. Probably it wants. It wants.
No, yeah, you don't need the folder because
Probably like that.
yeah.
Yeah. I will check why it doesn't. There is no correction strategy. So yeah, this strategy didn't pass. No,
Yeah,
no one
that's
of these
fair though.
passed. Right.
Yeah.
But this is the way we revalidate.
Yeah, a folder.
We can revalidate folder. Yeah, not only correction. This is okay. What more? Okay, let's load this again, but instead of using custom acceptance criteria, use custom spread and swaps or spread. Yeah. Here in generator, oops, no, this is the program. In the default settings, we have parameters for customizing the data set, but they are empty by default. It means it uses some generic settings that are coming with the premium data feed. And if you open Forex Strategy Builder, let's go to History Center, where I can see that in symbol settings. Settings, symbol, Euro USD. It uses swap long -2, swap short -2, and spread 10, and commission 0. But this may not be our what is from our broker. The broker I'm using for trading uses commission of $6 per lot per closing. The spread is okay, swap long and swap short, but they're not so important, but commission is important. So here I specify commission of $6. And when I set commission, it Express Generator applies this only at close and in currency. So I use the same validating. I open these 3 corrections, and now I will revalidate them but using commission $6. Okay, they pass. It pushed. 267 passed. You see, and
yeah, and the collection set to 100.
Just correction capacity is 100. That's why.
Yeah.
So in that way, we can revalidate basically corrections with different market conditions swap spreads, commissions, with different data with different time interval to simulate out of sample. And generally, this was what I wanted to show in that session, how to write custom settings files and how to use auto sample by specifying where's our command. Let's see it. Data. Here, the problem is that you cannot edit it directly. I find it that I have to drag and drop it over Notepad++ like that in order to see. So in that way, we generated strategies with the full data set or between some intervals. And then we validated only the auto sample part after the end of the data in the first set, and then we validated the full data.
Yeah. Can I add something? If you go up to the top of this file a second, Popov, and change that, for example, that 300, both of those 300s to 3000 a second. Just to demonstrate what I was wanting. If you change that to 3000 and that, and hit save and run that file now.
To see how much will.
No, not that. It's just to make clear what I was hoping might be possible. So if you hit save a second and run that file, and it's just to ask a question. So if you run that, now that's running now, right? Now let's say I come in tomorrow, like I set that overnight, and I come in and I said give me 3000 strategies, but it's got 1000, and I'm like, okay, 1000 is good enough. I now just want it to move to validate and give me some collections so I can do something with them. Is there a way that it could be implemented that, like how you press Control S, that it wouldn't just save the collection, but it would just stop the generation and just move straight to the next validation? Is that possible? You can't do it now, I don't think, but I'm just wondering if it's a feature that you could add somehow. Because it won't.
Actually, we can. Actually, we can, because actually it does exactly that.
Oh, does it do that? Okay, right. Okay.
Because here we have one command, one generator, and when we press Control C, it stops the generator. It doesn't stop the script.
Okay, so it stops the generator and moves to the next one. Perfect. I didn't think it would do that, so I actually didn't even think to test it. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Let's test it. Let's delete this. So I don't have anything in the collection.
Guys, I will have to go because it's 4 with me. I'll finish.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's nearly midnight.
Your staff will be happy, and I'll share it in our forum as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the tutorial.
We actually we covered all the things I wanted. Just we finish with that example, and I think it's enough.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see you.
Thank you, Samuel. Cheers.
Yeah. See you back up.
Let's see if it works like that. We run it, and it works. I press okay. I press Control C. It stops the command and continue.
But it won't have saved the. Did it save the collection though?
Yeah, it says
Control C. Did that just do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is simply a side effect.
Okay. No, that's perfect though. That's the behavior I wanted. So it's if you hit Control C, it will just save
It stops. It saves the collection and stops the currently running generator.
Perfect.
But
that's
this
exactly
command has other, so it continues with the next one.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, I didn't realize
this policy is very good. Yeah, thank you.
That's right. Yeah,
I have to use something like read key or something like that, but policy is good.
Yeah. I always have it just so I can see what happened. That's good.
Let's for demonstration make pause here. Echo Step 1 completed. Step 2 completed. Just to see what will happen. I have to upload this script somewhere, and I will attach it below the video
Yeah.
for our users. Let's see what will happen.
There's no difference between these CMD files and batch files, is there? I can't see any difference, but
It is.
CM.
I think the difference is that Windows runs with a different backend or runner. Let's say.
Okay.
I think if you
Okay.
make a batch file, it works some older version of.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this CMD is a new environment.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's good to know.
But for our purpose, it must work well. So I'll press Ctrl+C when they make. Okay, I press now. Step 1 completed. Press OK to continue. Right,
Yeah.
and it exported the first one.
Yeah.
I press
Perfect.
key and it continues the second step. Step 2 completed. Press any key to continue. Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. 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 No. That's ace.
But I'm amazed that actually now more than 50% of the strategies passed the auto sample.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty high number.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
And this is with the default settings of the generator. We didn't change anything here, right?
What are the default settings again, though? Are the default settings not pretty? Is that what it is? Are the default settings not just something like they've got to be profitable with 100 trades? It's not
yeah. These are the default. Count of
it's
trades.
just got to have a profit and 100 trades. So yeah.
Good.
But yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do, I will attach this script somewhere. Probably I will make a gist and put, or I will put in the forum. I will attach it. I will attach this video in the forum and attach also the this CMD script, so our users will be able to test it. So I'll stop the recording now.
Perfect.
I wanted to see how